Good morning, everyone. Welcome to day 2 at the live streaming show from NAB 2014. We're at the Teradek booth, and we have a lot of really great visitors today. Our first one is from HP. Would you please introduce yourself and give us your title?
Sure, I'm Jeff Wood. I'm the Vice President of Product Management for HP's Workstation business globally.
Wonderful. Well, I know that HP has a long history of involvement in the media and entertainment business, and I know that you've also made some really cool announcements at the show. So catch me up. Let me know where HP is at today in media and entertainment, and catch us up with a little bit of the new announcements you've made.
Absolutely. So we've been in the workstation business for over 30 years. Out of little old Fort Collins, Colorado, where our headquarters are, absolutely. And it's been a great ride. In fact, in 2010, we took over the #1 spot in the industry for all workstations globally. And it's just been a great solution, bringing out our Z Workstation portfolio. Not only the desktop workstations, but our first and only all-in-one workstation in the industry. And now, last year, we introduced the new ZBook line of mobile workstations.
How are the ZBooks going?
Fantastic. We introduced the first and only Ultrabook workstation in the industry, our ZBook 14. Very thin and light, but still doesn't sacrifice on performance and reliability of our standard workstation line.
And I'm curious, since you do have the amazing Z line of desktop workstations, we know how people use desktop workstations, but these mobile, appliances are a little new. How are people using them?
What's interesting is a lot of folks are actually using their desktop workstation when they're at their desk, because you get the best performance there, the most expandability. In fact, our Z820, the highest end workstation, can support up to half a terabyte of internal memory, 15 terabytes of internal storage, and very high-end graphics cards from NVIDIA.
It's almost unbelievable.
It's a supercomputer under the desk.
It's a supercomputer.
Right?
I mean, that's incredible.
But those folks, they need to be mobile as well, right? So when they do that, they need to go for a ZBook 15, ZBook 17. There you can still get quad-core performance out of Intel, still very high-end in graphics from NVIDIA. So when you take it on the road, that including our DreamColor displays on our mobile workstations, it's a color-critical solution with very high performance, even in a mobile device.
So are people taking them on set? Are they using them to view dailies? What are the kinds of usage cases that you see from your clients?
You hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what they're doing, right? So when they're out doing live action shots, the biggest issue is they need to bring those dailies in. And they can't always have a full desk side workstation there. Right. So with the ZBook 17, you got a 17-inch gorgeous display, color-critical solution with DreamColor display option, right? Quad-core technology up through a K5000M from NVIDIA. Now they can run dailies, they can do editing in real time, and if they need to reshoot something, they know they can do it with accuracy because they have that technology in their pocket.
I mean, it's more and more critical. Yesterday we had a conversation with a group of people in the post world who were talking about this huge trend of distributive post, or post in the cloud, whichever you want to call it. And the need to have devices, powerful devices, with really color critical type viewing that you can take really wherever you go.
Exactly.
So speaking of which, you mentioned DreamColor. So tell us a little bit about DreamColor.
Absolutely. We're so excited to be at NAB this year to announce our next generation DreamColor technology. It was in 2008 when we introduced our first DreamColor display, and that was a billion color palette, right? For folks who need to have color calibration, color accuracy, the blackest blacks, and really mimic a studio environment, right? Where everything you see on screen is exactly what you'll see in a theater. And for them, that was very critical, so you get the truest reds, the truest blues, and the black is actually black in that technology. With our new DreamColor display, it's a new gorgeous 27-inch solution. It's a Z27X, and it's all automated, from the ability to go to Rec 709, Adobe RGB. You can actually program it to do any color space you want within that billion color palette. And what's great, you can also do the color calibration from your cell phone. So you don't even have to hook up a PC to do the color calibration. It is all done automatically within the display.
And you talk about something that is so important. I mean, I remember it wasn't that long ago that directors would be watching, or producers would be watching dailies in their hotel room from a VHS on on a TV set that was definitely not calibrated to anything.
Right.
So calibration is so important. What are the variety of kinds of calibration that the DreamColor monitor offers, and how are people using that?
You know, we have our own color calibration solution from HP, but we also support a variety of industry solutions. It plugs right into the display through HDMI or USB cable, and it does the automatic calibration based on the technology that's doing the calibration. So, you know, if a studio wants to use their particular calibration device, they can. If they want to actually program specifically for the calibration, you know, they're blue, they're red, they're green, they can absolutely do that within this display.
And I presume it also meets all the industry standards out there.
Absolutely. And what's fantastic, we see live action studios actually take these big DreamColor displays on set for studio monitoring.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah. We've seen folks do it out in the field, and they actually carry a car battery to plug the thing in, because this is the only true color critical solution at a compelling price point in the industry.
And, well, do we want to mention the price point?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So the Z27X, 27-inch display, again, a billion color palette for only $14.99.
It's mind-boggling when you think of what monitoring has traditionally cost.
Exactly. We also have a little brother to that, the Z24X at $599. Same color engine that we have in the bigger brother, and also color calibratable. Now it's very affordable for those digital photographers, folks doing graphics arts, and quite frankly, it's the same price as an iPhone.
Really, and that's the kind of price that, you know, there's so many people creating content now. I mean, video has become our language of communication. There's so many people who are using video to express their creativity. I mean, that's really the price that an independent filmmaker or even a student could afford. Like you said, it's the same price as an iPhone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, that is compelling.
You know, other things that we introduced on Sunday, you look at the performance of the system. We've got high-speed CPUs from Intel, high-speed graphics from both NVIDIA and AMD. Where's the next bottleneck? Well, it's probably going to be in your storage, right?
Yes.
Lots of data going in those 4K streams of video, so you want to get access to that high-speed solution from your storage opportunity. We introduced the HP Z Turbo Drive. It's the first PCI Express based M.2 carrier that we can plug right into a PCI Express slot, bypass the SATA controller in the system. Now you've got high-speed data going straight to the CPU itself. We're actually 6 times as fast as a standard spindle drive, and we're twice as fast as a standard SSD. So incredible performance coming in at 256 gig and 512 gig form factors.
Now, I did get a chance to take a look at that in your secret room on the NAB show floor, and of course, you know, not being an engineering type, I got shown all these little gadgets and circuits, and you know, can you break that down a little bit? People may not really understand the SATA SSD, so we're going to break that down into English for us.
Absolutely. So everybody's kind of been moving to SSDs because they're going to get much better performance out of kind of a flash memory architecture, right? So now what we've done, typically when you see a hard drive, it's connected through a bus that goes then to the CPU. So the bus adds a little bit of latency, so a little bit slower speeds to do read and write access to the drive.
I see.
Now as we take this card, put the M.2 class flash memory on that, stick it right on the PCI Express bus, you don't have to go through that SATA controller. So it's minimizing the latency going directly to the CPU for high-speed performance. Now you get transfer rates of up to 1 gigabyte a second.
Wow.
Just incredible.
So basically what that does then is it kind of lifts the limits to performance, correct?
Absolutely.
But there must be some kind of a trade-off.
Well, you would think so, but
and
actually not. In fact, if you add a second Z Turbo Drive card, now you could put that in a RAID 0 configuration, you're doubling the performance. Now you get 2 gigabytes per second.
So you can daisy chain them, so to speak.
Absolutely.
How many can you daisy chain?
As many slots as you can take up in the system.
So that's pretty amazing.
Very incredible. You know, last year we introduced Fusion I/O technology with our partners.
Yes.
Very high speed I/O, PCI Express, fantastic performance for media and entertainment. But now we're coming out with the HP Z Turbo Drive. You put 2 of those in the system, you've met the Fusion I/O performance at a very small fraction of the price.
So these are really, really critical points in the production workflow. You
Absolutely.
know, being able to monitor and really see what you have. I mean, this bandwidth is so important. I mean, I'm presuming that this relates to the upcoming adoption of Ultra HD.
Sure, well, you've got 4K work streams today, and the data that produces is immense, right? So anything we can do to minimize any of the latency inside the system to make sure these guys can scrub on their timelines, do a lot of the compilation, transcoding, out to final product, it's really important for high performance in the entire system ecosystem.
So we're in a fabulous place today. Let's wrap it up here and talk a little bit about what we can see from HP in the future. Are you working to, these sound like they can't be improved almost, but what direction will HP be going? What are we going to see at next NAB?
That's a great question. So, the world's starting to work on virtualization, right? Starting to take a lot of their compute power back into the data center. We also just introduced our next revision of remote graphics software. So now folks who actually want to be mobile, but still have access to their hot rod Z workstation under the desk, now they can do that with the RGS protocol and flow through 4K streaming video on a tablet. So take a look at our HP ElitePad 1000. Now under Windows 8 with RGS 7.0, you can actually hit that back-end workstation and look at this in real time.
That
fantastic
is truly amazing. Jeff, thank you so much for stopping by. I really enjoyed it.
Have a great NAB.
You too. Thanks so much.